You get me? Okay? We're not talking about themselves. Research it, dig on it, and not understand that the justice system is rigged. And we've been saying that since the beginning. We went through court cases. We went through private investigators. This is how we have the insurance and the documents and the things and the receipts that we have, because we have been through this so many times before, where the victim is the one who gets the most pale and the predators walk. The amount of people that you've seen, I want you to stop and think about how many people. I knew about him beating the hell out of females. I knew about the parties going on with multiple people, so it wasn't just Sean Combs. I knew about all of that, but I left early, so guilty. How many people did you hear say about Cassie Ventura that I knew that she was being a I knew this shit was wrong. I knew what he was doing.
Girl, y'all need to grab a seat for this one, because Allie Carter just exposed the corrupt justice system and how Diddy finessed his way out of those RICO charges. So, according to Allie, Diddy didn't just magically walk away from those RICO charges. She is alleging that he struck a shady backdoor deal with some powerful people. And it all ties back to those mysteriously missing tapes that investigators couldn't find during the raid on his home. Allie claims that Diddy wasn't the only one holding on to the incriminating tapes from these infamous parties, as Jay-Z also had copies, just in case Diddy ever got taken out. And here's the gag. Allie is claiming Diddy gave up the other tapes and flipped on Jay-Z to save himself, especially after feeling salty that Jay didn't lift a finger or show any support during his trial. Now, word on the street is that the feds are allegedly circling Jay-Z, trying to find anything they can use to link him to this whole twisted saga. And girl, if even a fraction of this is true, we might be witnessing the build-up to another bombshell celebrity trial. For context, the internet lost it when the verdict from Diddy's trial was announced. He was found guilty of transportation for prostitution, but somehow got off on the way more serious RICO charges. The verdict had fans straight up confused because the prosecution brought solid evidence and a full lineup of witnesses. We're talking Cassie, her mom, her hairstylist, and even a male escort who claimed he was right there at those wild freak-off parties. With all that stacked against him, everyone thought the RICO charge was a done deal, but somehow Diddy was found not guilty on the RICO charge, and y'all, it left fans scratching their heads, asking what was going on. Diddy beating those RICO charges didn't make sense to a lot of people. And y'all, it didn't take long before Allie Carter jumped right into the conversation. And girl, she came in swinging. Allie straight up alleged that the entire trial was a sham. According to Allie, while Diddy was sitting in court acting unbothered, he was allegedly out here behind the scenes bribing and paying off key witnesses to make sure they never showed up to testify. Now, for those who didn't follow the trial closely, one of the most crucial witnesses, referred to as Victim 3 in the indictment, mysteriously vanished just one day before she was supposed to testify against Diddy. And here's where it gets even wilder. Allie claims that the Kardashians were allegedly helping Diddy funnel money to victims through their church, disguising the payouts as donations. Now, if y'all remember, Kris Jenner was exposed a while back for launching her church, the California Community Church. And here's the kicker. Members were reportedly required to pay a $1,000 monthly membership fee and donate then % of their income as a tithe. At first, people thought it was just another Kardashian tax loophole, like a clever way for Kris and her girls to rack up some write-offs.
This person by the name of Lou Taylor is apparently Diddy's manager. And this Lou Taylor woman is also on the board of Hillsong. Lou Taylor apparently is paying off, allegedly, some of Diddy's victims from this slush fund through.
But baby, it turns out the tea might be way hotter than that. According to Allie Carter, this church wasn't just about dodging taxes. It was allegedly being used as a front to funnel hush money and pay off victims of Diddy's abuse. Yep, you heard that right. And here's where it all starts to connect. The infamous Hollywood manager Lou Taylor, who has ties to Diddy, Justin Bieber, and the Kardashians, was reportedly also a board member of the church. So y'all, when you start putting one and one together, the math is mathing in a very shady way. This might go way deeper than anyone thought. And y'all, Allie didn't stop there. She claimed the system knew she had real solid evidence against Diddy, but instead of letting her speak, they allegedly pulled some shady legal moves. According to Allie, they purposely filed paperwork in a way that would block her from testifying, using jurisdiction loopholes to keep her out of the courtroom. Like they knew what she had could blow the whole case wide open, so they made sure her voice was legally silenced.
And I don't know if they even got through all of those witnesses, but Maureen Comey is the prosecutor. of this case, on this case in New York City, and she never asked about the children. And there's so many people who wanted me to be a witness on this trial, and I want to explain jurisdiction. I know some people don't understand jurisdiction, so let's talk about it. She was 19. You get me? Okay? We're not talking about the other children that were on this case. Now, as you guys are seeing, I told you the justice system is rigged. I don't know how many ways people need to say that, see it for themselves, research it, dig on it, and not understand that the justice system is rigged. And we've been saying that since the beginning. We went through court cases. We went through private investigators. This is how we have the insurance.
But it gets even worse. Allie says some victims weren't allowed to testify at all, specifically the ones who were prepared to speak on the horrific things Diddy allegedly did to minors. Allie also had some choice words for the celebs who stood by and kept quiet. She called out the ones who knew exactly what Diddy was doing behind closed doors. The ones who saw him put hands on Cassie, pulled up to those wild parties, witnessed all kinds of madness, and still stayed silent. Take a listen to what she said.
I knew about children being there. I knew about him the hell out of females. I knew about the parties going on with multiple people, so it wasn't just Sean Combs. I knew about all of that, but I left early, so guilty. How many people did you hear say about Cassie Ventura that I knew that she was being abused? I knew this shit was wrong. I knew what he was doing, but I'm just now speaking about it. Guilty.
Coward.
How many maids did it take to clean up a penthouse suite? Know that there was blood and glass everywhere, but they kept their mouth shut because they got paid. Guilty. So we're not talking, let's go back down to the bottom. The hotel manager that you guys never seen his face at first of this hotel. He heard the beating. He heard the screaming. He knew what was going on. He knew that Sean Combs was in there. He knew that he had other girls with him. He knew what was going on. He had the footage. He talked to the security. That hotel manager is who took that footage from the security and said, okay, hand me some money or help me be quiet and I'm going to shut the hell up. You did not hear anything from that hotel manager until now. But they told you, that hotel manager, if you would have went back then, they would have told you, no, we don't know anything. Cover up. Guilty. The security that were on shift that night that knew.
But here's where things get super interesting. According to inside sources, Diddy beating those RICO charges had nothing to do with luck and wasn't because his legal team was some courtroom dream team. LA is claiming Diddy allegedly cut a secret backdoor deal with some powerful people, the same ones rumored to appear in those infamous freak-off tapes that were filmed at his place. And part of that deal, it allegedly involved handing over some of the missing tapes. Now here's the real tea. According to the source, the reason Diddy even landed in that courtroom wasn't just because the freak-off allegations started making headlines. It goes way deeper. When Homeland Security raided his home, they allegedly discovered that some tapes were missing. Tapes that could seriously shake up some powerful people. And the only way to keep Diddy from ever leaking those tapes was to hit him with serious RICO charges. Basically, the feds weren't just trying to take him down, they were trying to shut him up. And y'all, Allie Carter is claiming that Diddy knew this was going to happen. Right after Cassie filed that lawsuit, he allegedly moved some of those tapes out of his house and used them as a bargaining chip to strike a deal to evade serious jail time. But it gets even messier. Ally says Diddy didn't just stop there. He allegedly told the feds where the rest of the tapes were and flipped on Jay-Z to save himself. Yep, according to Allie, Diddy straight up ratted out Jay because he was feeling salty that Jay didn't lift a finger or show any kind of support during his trial. Ally claims no one should expect a big dramatic moment when Diddy shows up to court on October 3rd because it's gonna be a whole lot of nothing. Sis says Diddy's either gonna get a slap on the wrist or might even walk out a free man. Well, according to Allie, the real power players, the ones who helped make all this go down behind the scenes, already got exactly what they wanted. So at this point, the sentencing might just be for show. Let's get into it. But here's where it gets real messy, y'all. Allie is now claiming that the feds are actively circling Jay-Z, like they're allegedly going deep into his past, flipping through everything with a fine-tooth comb, whether it's a crime, a shady connection to Diddy, or any tie to this whole messy trial, they're reportedly trying to find something that'll stick. And let's be real. If what Allie's saying is true about the feds wanting to take down Jay-Z, we might be looking at another high-profile celebrity trial in the making. And honestly, it might not take the feds long to find something. Let's be real. Jay and Diddy have a long history, and over the years, their names have been linked to some very suspicious disappearances and shady moments in the music industry. And y'all, the deeper you dig, the wilder it gets. Let's not forget the whispers about Foxy Brown. Remember the rumors that Jay-Z allegedly had some kind of involvement with her back when she was just 15? That story has followed him for years, even though it's never been officially addressed. And then there's the case of Kathy White, one of Jay-Z's alleged mistresses, who mysteriously died not long after reports of their affair hit the blogs. The official story said she passed from a brain aneurysm, but let's be real, a lot of people weren't buying that. The timing was way too suspicious, and the streets have been side-eyeing that situation ever since. People immediately started whispering foul play, and y'all already know who gets brought up whenever foul play is involved. Yep, Diddy, the one the streets call the king of mysterious unalivins. I'm not gonna lie, Diddy ratting out Jay-Z is wild, and his whole situation is looking wild, messy, and we surely can't wait to see where all these would lead to. Ally Carter exposing Diddy for ratting out Jay-Z to beat his RICO charge had fans talking, and they left comments saying, "It takes a lot of courage for Ally to speak up and tell the truth. I'm so proud of her to come forward, and she's risking her life for this." Ally tells it straight on. They're all probably scared to death of her testifying. God protect her. She is taking great risks to her life to expose this to try and save the children. God bless you and protect you. Ally, no one is talking about the guns and illegal videos, charges noted in the federal indictment. Those charges alone would have gotten Puffy 20 years plus. Those charges were low-hanging fruit, but not taken. So do y'all think the feds are actually going to charge Jay-Z if they manage to get their hands on those missing tapes? Or do you think he's going to find a way to slip through the cracks like Diddy allegedly did? Let me know what you think in the comments, then check out this next video.